This is going to be a look at the tremendous impact that the Ravens rookies had in their Week 18 loss to the Bengals 27-16. Look, regardless of what your perspective is or what my perspective is on, how did the Ravens play? Did the Bengals let up off the gas? Were there missed passes by the Bengals? Were there opportunities? Of course, there were opportunities out there for them to make plays. There were opportunities for the Ravens, too, with a third-string quarterback on the field who is a rookie as well. This video is going to focus on Isaiah Likely, David Ojabo, Charlie Kolar, Pepe Williams, Tyler Linderbaum, and Anthony Brown, all who, in my opinion, played extremely well at various times in Sunday's loss. Anthony Brown, of course, had 2 interceptions and a fumble that got recovered for a touchdown, so saying he played well is an interesting statement, clearly. But he did many good things, and you will see them. He had 9 completions of 11 yards or more in this game. A 10th one would have been a huge gain to Proche, but Proche stepped out of bounds 2 or 3 times upon replay. Now you can see that he stepped out of bounds with 2 feet. He knew it too. Proche knew it, but it was a great play. It was a great play by Anthony Brown to get out of there to the right, find it. The Ravens were running wheel routes against this Bengals defense, and then simultaneous to that are running a third route onto the hash on the same side, and there's a reason for it. I think it's given the Bengals coverages problems. All right, so some of my plays are out of order here. So this first one is going to start with a catch by Isaiah Likely. I do have some notes that you may hear me flipping, so, my apologies. Isaiah Likely is located up at the top. This is a 2x2 set, spread, flex, whatever you want to call it. Anthony Brown, quick. It's a 1st and 20 after what I thought was a really questionable penalty on, I think, Linderbaum or maybe the left guard. I'm not sure. But look how strong Likely is with the catch and the physical contact. He's a load. He is a load. The Bengals defenders are physical. They always like to, get in. I don't want to say extra shots. That's not the right word. This is just football. Contact. To me, the Bengals defense and the Ravens defense play the right way. They just play with contact. But they're good at this. They're good at setting a little tone. And Isaiah Likely is just a load. Thankfully, there's 3 or 4 guys there because he's just so strong. He's always going to get yards after the catch because of his size, because of how explosive he is, his strength. His hips and quads are huge. All right, so that was a 7-yard completion on a 1st and 20. One play later, 3rd and 13. He's just going to run this little in slant now route. Almost runs over Logan Wilson, who had just tackled him 2 plays before. Wilson goes low, tries to put his helmet on the football, which is smart. Likely damn near gets the first down. Quick decision by Anthony Brown, who, I won't focus on in this video too much, but watch Brown's helmet. Brown looks here first, but I think it's just a look off. He had looked here first. I think it's just a look off to get the second level guys going in that direction. Come back to Likely or Watkins, who I think presents some problems for CTB over there, who's a rookie as well and has played quite well this year. All right, Ravens' 5th possession. Some of these are out of order for real. It's a wheel concept between Proche, who's the number 1 receiver, and Likely, who's the number 2. So there's your route combination. Kind of a ball that's thrown a little off timing. You have Tyler Linderbaum up there, a rookie, going one-on-one against DJ Reader as well. Likely takes this from Eli Apple. I think I give you the end zone angle. Beautiful play. Brown is willing to throw the football, even after 2 or 3 turnovers. I think that's notable. But in any case, you got Linderbaum, a rookie, winning. Anthony Brown, a rookie, throwing the football up the left sideline, and then a rookie, Isaiah Likely, winning a one-on-one against Eli Apple in terms of the catch point. And Eli Apple's an underrated defender. There's just too many things said about him. He's too solid for this team for me to be disrespectful. It's a good win for Isaiah Likely. Good ball by Anthony Brown. And then, look, this is Linderbaum against DJ Reader. He didn't get help. I mean, Reader's giving him everything he can, right? Reader's a monster. If you ask me, he's a great player. Linderbaum got some help at times, but so does every other center when they're dealing with a guy like DJ Reader. Great play by Isaiah Likely, coming down in bounds. 28-yard reception. Third play of the Ravens' 5th possession, I think. All right, this is going to be a pass to Charlie Kolar, who's lined up in the slot. He's smooth. He is smooth. Smart, great hands, it looks like to me. Linderbaum against DJ Reader again. I like how he realizes Reader isn't going anywhere near the quarterback and then just slaps him or pushes him away. Like, get out of here. Let me pick up some other work. Reader's a problem. He's going to be a problem this week for the Ravens. Linderbaum competed with him. Like, for all y'all haters out there that we drafted Tyler Linderbaum, he competed with DJ Reader on Sunday. Enough said. Anthony Brown, quick decision, getting the ball out there. He's looking off our screen to something else developing over here. Comes back to Kolar, second read, boom. Interesting. Huntley seems to be a one-read, maybe two-read guy. Anthony Brown showed the ability to get to his second and third read many times in this game. Same play, all 22 angle. There's Kolar. And this is interesting. The Ravens going quads. I have us going quads for receivers to one side like 4 or 5 times in this game. And I think it can present problems for this Bengals defense. How often are they going to do it? I don't know. You know, the Bengals, look, here's the reason why I can give them problems. They are so unwilling to separate from this too high safety look because they play so many different coverages. They disguise them well. They're so disciplined. They're so multiple in coverage. They don't want to give this away. And that's been a consistent theme with the Bengals defense for the last 2 years, 2021 and 2022 now. And you can see what we've got. We've got another wheel with Prochet, number 1 receiver vertical. Drake, who went in motion out into the flats. Kolar sitting there. Just too many people to defend if you're not going to include that other apex defender in the fit, which I think is Pratt. I could be wrong. That's a DB, Mike Hilton. My apologies. 15-yard completion to Kolar. 3rd and 9 from the 19. 12-yard catch to Likely. Damn near gets in the end zone. Love how the Ravens do this. You get Kolar on this little like shimmy slant, shoot route up the middle of the field, lube, whatever you want to call it. And then Likely this kind of like offbeat China in where he sits and then comes back in and he goes into the vacated space. He runs onto the vacated space of Charlie Kolar. And look, that's Flowers he's beating. He's a good defender. On a lot of other teams, Flowers is going to play a lot of snaps. For the Bengals, he comes in on third downs generally to play man against tight ends. I thought Likely gave him the business. You guys let me know if you were as impressed with Likely as I'm talking here. All right, this is the Bengals' opening possession of the third quarter, I believe. This should be a tackle by Kyle Hamilton for a 3-yard gain to Boyd. The Ravens are trying to play this drop cover 3 that the Bengals play a lot, and the Bengals are exceptional at it. They seem to generally do it with their right safety, so we're rolling Clark back, rolling Williams up. There is a little bit of an issue here. Roquan Smith and Marcus Williams end up being really close together, but look at the ground. Kyle Hamilton is a curl flat defender. So curl, and then if the ball was thrown in the flat, so let's say this running back was able to swing out into the flats, then you recover to the flats. Once the ball is thrown, once the ball is committed. So he gets out to the curl. He didn't mess this up. One of these two guys did. One of them should be near this hash, and I think Marcus Williams is correct here. And then there's your cover 3 delineation with those guys. Look at the range that Hamilton has, though. He allows the ball to be thrown and then attacks it. It's a dangerous throw by Burrow. Burrow's got the arm strength to get there, I mean, no doubt. But it is a dangerous throw, throwing from the other hash all the way to the near sideline. It's only a 3-yard gain. When I say it's a dangerous throw, I don't mean that's almost an interception. What I mean is it's a dangerous throw for to only be gaining 3 yards against cover 3 where you have a curl flat defender sitting there. Hopefully that makes sense. If you're a Bengals fan and you're listening and you think I'm just a homer. Same possession, I believe. A 3rd and 7 to Chase. And watch Kyle Hamilton. I mean, he's looking at the quarterback and he's reacting to Burrow open. Actually, he looks like he jumps out first. I think the Ravens might have known this was coming. They're definitely trying to sim out these screens, meaning simulate pressure, get the Bengals to throw a hitch screen because the Bengals are anticipating something like, this with Hamilton and 1 or 2 guys dropping out. And so then they're gonna block up the corner, hitch to Chase, leave a safety unblocked because, I guess they're thinking that maybe Hamilton's blitzing, but he's not. He actually doesn't read Burrow. I think he turns as soon as the ball's snapped. You guys let me know the timing that you're seeing. Great physical play, pass breakup. Jace didn't seem to like some of this stuff, this contact. Interesting theory that the Ravens were using, simming out these plays, basically meaning simulating pressure to draw out the screen and then recover and play the screen, as opposed to not showing pressure and allowing the Bengals to set up and throw the ball downfield. Not sure that I'm saying it's a great option. Just seems like that's what the Ravens were trying to do. This should be the Bengals' second possession of the third quarter. Watch Hamilton take on Hayden Hurst, who's a stud, a really strong guy. Now, Roquan Smith is there on Mixon. All right, Roquan Smith makes a great play. He had 16 tackles. He played amazing. Bad news, good news for the Ravens. Good news is he can do that again. Bad news is he has to. Roquan has to play that well. Kyle Hamilton has to play this well in order for the Ravens to go in there and get a win. It's just a fact. Hamilton shrugs off Hurst. I think I have the end zone angle of this play later on. But physical play, one of the things we talked about in our Discord, I can't remember who it was that mentioned it initially. I kind of co-signed it. Hamilton plays extremely well coming forward or maybe going lateral, horizontal. He doesn't seem to play as well going backwards. I don't know what that dynamic is. A lot of range, physicality, strength, length. Plays extremely well at the second level with Roquan and Queen. For a rookie, even though he had such a high reputation coming in this year, and some people would say hasn't lived up to it, some spectacular plays. This should be Ojabo strip sack on a 2nd and 10, same possession. Very next play, I should say. Very next play, second possession of the third quarter. This is during the stretch where the Ravens, 10 possessions in a row for the Bengals. Ravens got 9 stops and gave up 1 field goal. That's real data. It's not made up BS. These rookies are a big part of it. Ojabo, in my opinion, the Ravens have got to get, on pass situations, they've got to get other guys in and take advantage of these matchups with the left guard potentially being out. I'm talking about Houston, Owe. Owe gives a nice spin later on. I'm not sure if I show you in this video. Owe gives a nice spin to defeat the left guard. I think before he got hurt, but I could be wrong. Great move by Ojabo, who's pretty excited, clearly. Somebody on Twitter, I forget who it was, mentioned how many forced fumbles Ojabo had last year on run plays. Yeah, here's the end zone. On run plays and pass plays. And it's an interesting dynamic. It seems to be a habit, seems to be a trait of his. You can see that Burrow's setting up. JPP, I think, can be a force this week. JPP here collapses the right tackle in. And that, if you ask me, has an impact. I mean, look, that guy's on skates. This is roller skates here. Forces Burrow to step up because the right tackle's been dumped, almost in his lap or dumped in his back hip. So Burrow steps up. JPP actually gets a hand on, maybe his helmet, shoulder, and maybe elbow, but Burrow's doing a good job defending it. Definitely some movement there. And then Ojabo, violent club. Beautiful football play. Same thing that I was talking about with the Bengals earlier. There's always physical contact to finish the play. And Ojabo seems like he's one of those guys. Fits right in. All right, hopefully I'm back on track. This should be a completion to Kolar. No, this is an incompletion to Kolar. My apologies. I don't know what possession this is. I know it's late in the game. Gutsy for Anthony Brown to throw this ball. Linderbaum looks like he's off balance. Let's talk about that first. Linderbaum is one-on-one. Looks like, now, when Cleveland comes in here and makes contact, he knocks down Linderbaum and the nose tackle. But I think Linderbaum's already off balance before this contact from Cleveland. I'm not sure that he's going to, the nose tackle is going to get to Brown. Brown seems to be one of those guys that's comfortable standing here in the pocket, as opposed to Huntley and Lamar, who will kind of take off a little sooner. Dangerous play, dangerous throw. Gutsy, and a really weird version of, I guess this is mesh. You've got multiple crossers, 2 from one side. It looks like to me someone is supposed to run the Andrews route and sit in the middle of the field. And then you're supposed to have, a drag from one side and a drag from the other. We've got so many new guys out there. Watkins, Kolar, Demarcus Robinson is not new, but did not play well the other day. Gutsy throw by Brown. All 22 view, same play. Look at the collection of guys. Very unusual. Ravens have run mesh probably 16, 18 times this year, and I've never seen this. So it's weird. I know there's people out there who'll say, well, they always run routes next to each other. Well, mesh you're supposed to in the first place. You're supposed to kind of come near each other, but you're not supposed to do this. You're not supposed to have this many guys nearby. So it's interesting to me that Brown tried to stick this in there, and to be honest with you, he damn near did. You can't throw it to the direction that Kolar is running to because you've got a safety and CTB who could play it. I think he tried to throw it on the back hip, I believe, but I could be wrong. That was a 3rd and 8. Ravens were down 24-7. That was after the Ojabo forced fumble, so we closed to 24-10. This is the Bengals' ensuing possession. It's a 10-play drive, okay? This is going to be Pepe Williams against Boyd, one-on-one. And then Ojabo rushing off the edge. Forcing Burrow at least off his spot. Roquan is able to get the secondary rush because Roquan is responsible for the back who stays in to help. It's Perrine right there. And look at Pepe. Pepe's a competitor, man. Catch to Boyd on the sideline. Pepe trying to recover, knock the ball out. I thought there was a chance that play would be reviewed, but Boyd did a great job making that catch on the sideline. Whether he was inbounds or not, it's still a great catch. Higgins did one of those earlier as well, coming back against Marlin. But I thought there was a possibility this could be reviewed. But looking at it a second time now tonight, looks like he drug his right foot. Great catch either way, even if he doesn't get everything in bounds. That forced a 4th and 2 field goal by the Bengals to go up 27-10. Like I said, that was a 3rd and 8. I think this is the very next Ravens possession. And I think you've got Kolar and Likely next to each other to the left in a trip set, so 12 personnel. And this is going to be Kolar matched up against another rookie who I think is very talented, Dax Hill, and beats him one-on-one in man. Trey Hendrickson trying to execute the speed rush up there. Look, that's a contested catch. That's physical coverage by Dax Hill. He's a hell of a football player. When he got reps that 1 week against the Bucs, I thought he played well. Kolar is big and strong. Is able to make just enough contact with him before the top of the route. Here. To then pull it back out to the outside. Kind of broke Dax Hill's posture a little bit. Still good coverage. Great challenge by Dax Hill. Good throw by Anthony Brown, if you ask me. Maybe it could have been another foot, 2 feet further towards the sideline. But in any case, Ravens did eventually go down and get a field goal to close to 27-13, I believe. There. This is going to be a completion to Ja'Marr Chase, the Bengals' very next possession. It's a 2nd and 10 from the 25. It's against Pepe Williams. Now, Pepe hesitates for a second. I think he's trying to jump this, guys. I think that he knows he has safety help over the top. And this says a lot of good things about Pepe. Look at his leverage. Look where he went on the snap. He's not reading Chase at all. And he hesitates just a second here and then ends up being a little slow in his break. He's trying to jump that route, guys. I'm not sure if it's the exact route he thinks it's going to be. If he thinks it's going to be a stop. If he thinks it's going to be an out. It's a little slant by Chase. It's another dangerous throw. This is one of the things that I thought I saw in the game, but I wasn't sure if I did and couldn't mention in a reaction video because, you don't get these angles at all. Look at Roquan, a little bit of extra business at the end of the play. There's nothing wrong with that. That's football. That's the way the game's supposed to play. It's supposed to be played. This is interesting. We're playing a trap coverage. Now, the next time we could get, a little sluggo by Ja'Marr Chase, and they may throw it up the sideline against our safety. That's how good the Bengals are. That's how prepared they are and how quickly they can make adjustments. I think the Ravens were onto some things in terms of formation. I'm not sure if it'll carry over to next week or not, but I thought that was an interesting play, even though it's a 9-yard catch. I think this is a 1st and 10 to Likely. Trying to find exactly where this is. Up the seam. 28 yards, I believe. going to be honest with you. Against this Bengals defense, with the type of talent they have, I don't think that Oliver and Ricard can be on the field together. If we're going to have one of them on the field, okay, fine. We need Andrews, likely, maybe Kolar, but some of our other receivers, Watkins, Robinson, even though Robinson clearly did not play well against the Bengals, and Watkins had the huge fumble, but Watkins is a matchup issue for CTB. He is. I mean, he just showed that on 2 plays. I like what Likely is doing here. Setting up Von Bell to the outside and then cutting back to the inside, and then Brown with the play action, throwing it over the top of the second level. Look at that. That's a perfectly thrown ball. Really well thrown. Linderbaum, I'm not sure who he's going up against here. Looks like he's able to anchor down to me, but I just glanced at it one time, to be honest with you. He's getting walked back a little bit and then finally anchors down, gives Brown the room to throw it. It's going to be an interesting matchup tactically. The Bengals are willing to play multiple coverages. They're willing to rush 3 to eschew the pressure and get maximum coverage. If Anthony Brown ends up playing or Tyler Huntley, that's going to be an interesting, matchup if you ask me. All right, don't remember this play. All right, this is Boyd on the shake in, beats Hamilton. I think Kyle Hamilton right now is better playing at these angles than he is playing at this one. That's just what I think I see. That's a simplistic view. Boyd carries him outside. Now, this is a tough judgment thing for me to say, but you got 3, apparently. 1 and 2 crossed your face. Now, 2 could go here. 2 could go there. I'm talking about Higgins. In my opinion, you don't get beat with Boyd cutting back to the inside. In my opinion, you make Boyd beat you to the outside. This is a too high safety structure to bunch with inside linebacker help. So what I mean is, it's a half-field safety, it's a corner, Hamilton, and an inside linebacker. In my opinion, you don't let yourself get outflanked here, but you do not let him cross your face like this. You make him beat you to the outside, which is a longer throw. Now, I know that people will say, Coach, that's not how I would teach it. I think that Hamilton is going to struggle with moves like this one. And he has at times this year. In my opinion, if we want to play him to play at his best, we need to declare the route for the receiver, meaning give him a side depending on the coverage. You can't always do that, I understand, but you certainly recognize that you have a corner out here who's guarding no one. This route is going in. Higgins is occupying the safety, and this route is designed to pull Boyd for this little shake in, and it works. 12-yard gain. Gets them down to the 1. They scored on the next play, if I remember correct. All right, sorry, I was flipping through my pages. This is back to the beginning now. Look, this has been a little bit of a longer video than I necessarily wanted it. I thought the Ravens rookies showed a lot of potential. Of course, it's week 18, so it's going to be very easy to say, was too little too late. I mean, I kind of agree. It's also going to be easy to say, well, the Bengals didn't try hard. Well, their starters are on the field. You don't play football, if you have any experience with it at all, you don't play football half-assed. You don't play football without giving full effort. That's how people get hurt. So in my opinion, that's just not reality. If you have a helmet on and you have a mouthpiece in, which you should at all times, and you're on the field, you're in between the white lines, you play to 100% of your effort and potential, or you should come off the field. One thing that I love that the Bengals do that is somewhat unique, they are willing to take inside linebackers and play the flat with them. This is a cover 3. So what they've done is they've taken the safety, the right safety, Bates, and they drop him down to the hash. And then Wilson plays this hash. Pratt, and then I think Hilton play the flats. It's cover 3, if you couldn't tell by now. It's cover 3. You got a corner backside, free safety, corner. If Prochet's route develops, in some type of vertical, then maybe Hilton has a rule to carry that. Maybe Bates has a rule to carry that or something like that, but it certainly looks like cover 3 to me. How quick Brown gets rid of the ball, how much confidence he has in Likely. I thought those guys played exceptionally well, regardless of what happens next week against the Bengals. And look, the Bengals could win 35-14 or 35-13. They absolutely could. They go out there and hit big plays. If their defense gets turnovers again and they shut down the Ravens' offense for large stretches, they could absolutely blow the Ravens away. No doubt about it. The Ravens could go in there and win. You know, the disparity is such that, think of like a number line. You know, I think it's skewed more in the Bengals' direction that they could win by more, that they're going to win a larger percentage of the time. No doubt. But the Ravens can win the game. And these rookies can have an impact, it looks like. Now, maybe next week, Likely, Kolar, Linderbaum, Pepe, Ojabo, maybe the Travis Jones, who I didn't mention at all, Anthony Brown, who, you know, may or may not play. Maybe those guys, you know, drop a dud for real. I don't think so. We've seen enough out of Likely to see that he can play. Tyler Linderbaum can ball. Like, I don't care what you think. If you don't think that he can play, you just don't know football. Anthony Brown, could he repeat some of the good things he did in the second half? I'm not so sure. You know, the Bengals are going to give him a lot of different looks, but the Ravens did try to show some different routes to the Bengals. The Ravens did try to show some different routes, and Brown was willing to throw them. That's an interesting development. I think some people in the comment section have correctly identified it, that there's some throws that Brown was willing to try that Tyler Huntley is not. He threw an interception, a bad one, to Isaiah Likely on the first possession or second possession maybe. I think the second interception was Demarcus Robinson's fault. The fumble in our own end zone was coach's fault for real. But I don't anticipate Anthony Brown playing anyway. I think Lamar Jackson plays, but I could be wrong. Let me know what you guys think of the rookie play, what you think of my assessment of it. I probably missed, 3 or 4 plays. Hopefully I didn't miss huge ones, but Likely was balling. Ojabo showed you the violence, the finishing the play, the ability to circle around. And I thought Kolar showed you what he can be. Looks a little slimmer than I remembered. Tylan Wallace isn't a rookie. Odafe Owe isn't a rookie, but I thought both of those guys showed us some good moments in the game on Sunday, and I think they can recreate it this Sunday night as well. Appreciate you guys' time. If you enjoyed the video, please let me know in the comment section, and if you really, enjoyed this video, please consider sharing a link on social media to help the video get more reach. Thank you guys for your time.